Trump administration has put a temporary pause on all Afghan refugee resettlement programs and halted any efforts to relocate special immigrant visa holders to the U.S.
All right, and caught in the middle of it, Afghans who assisted U.S. troops overseas. Fox 5's Teresa Priolo has more on the impact this is having on all of them.
Our role there in Afghanistan was to interact with the wives and daughters, mothers of Taliban leaders, and to be able to corroborate information so that the strike force would be able to detain the right individuals. And so without them, it wasn't just my safety that was assured, but it was the lives of the many men that were out on these direct action night raids.
It's not hyperbole to suggest Manaz Akbari and the Women of Afghan's Female Tactical Platoon helped ensure the success of U.S. forces in Afghanistan and in many cases save their lives. And while they were never promised help in return, the hope has always been the U.S. wouldn't fail them when they needed it.
A lot of people that are interpreters, some of them, they are still in Afghanistan, and they work for U.S. government, and they risk their life to serve their country also, and work closely with U.S. government, but now they are really disappointed.
Disappointed now that the Trump administration has temporarily paused all special immigrant visas, or SIVs, and its refugee resettlement program, which includes rehoming the Afghans that fought alongside U.S. troops in Afghanistan, those who were left behind when the U.S. pulled out in August 2021.
I was talking with one of the FTP, actually. She tried for 3 years to bring her family here, and she did the paperwork and everything was done, and her family received a call that they need to be ready in 24 hours. We are going to evacuate from you from Afghanistan. But unfortunately, after a couple of hours, they called them and they said that your flight got canceled.
Flights are canceled, plans are on hold. There are no answers, not from the State Department or the Defense Department. And while many have made it out over the last 3.5 years, their family members remain in a country under Taliban rule.
She was hopeful that after the U.S. interview, the embassy interview, she would be given the visa, but now it's unknown.
Mohammed asked that we not show his face. He worked for 4 years as an interpreter in Afghanistan. As soon as he was eligible for an SIV, he took it. His sister also worked alongside U.S. troops. She's currently stuck in Pakistan.
There's a lot of other interpreters who actually have difficulty proving that they work with the U.S. Army. Some of them are injured. Some of them have lost their family members. But since the company that they were employed by or the supervisor is not reachable, they can't find the supervisor, they can't find any contact. For them, the refugee status is something that was hopeful. That, okay, at least with whatever document they have in hand, they can show that, and the refugee status will give them asylum here. So right now, their life is completely unknown.
It's estimated approximately 40,000 Afghans have had their flights canceled or their applications put on pause.
We are talking about 20 years of war, right? There were very, very long employments. Most of these folks don't even know anything but being loyal to the United States.
Groups like Afghan EVAC and PenFed and Next Mission are working to resettle Afghans, hoping to convince the government they're worthy of protection. But so far, there's been radio silence. The hope is this is one big mistake.
Oftentimes people don't consider the impact that this has on our American veterans, and especially those that served in Afghanistan. It bears a pretty big burden when we feel that what our government has done is so shameful, and it's just not reflective of how we really feel for these individuals. They are in every way our colleagues.
Teresa Priolo, Fox 5 News.